General Electric's engineers are advancing the new art of television. Who knows what television holds in store? It is thrilling indeed to know that this is General Electric's contribution to the world of today and the better world of tomorrow, to man's mastery of his destiny.
Charlie, we're here to see some of the early cathode ray tubes. Can you show us where they are?
Well, I just got out the boxes and put on them.
You're on candid camera too, Charlie. This is exactly like what I used to have. I used to have one of those things. You can see the dusty guts of a real solid vacuum tube piece of equipment. Down here is the electron gun, which generates a fine beam of electrons that are accelerated toward the screen with a high voltage. They've got to hit the screen with enough high voltage to knock off or generate light.
At the time, do people wonder if it was safe to look at that? I mean,
They still do.
They still do. Yeah.
They do with
Microwaves,
scopes
everything.
on computers
Scopes,
too.
yeah. There was concern because the light comes from cathodoluminescence when a high-energy electron beam strikes a material, and not only does that give off light, but some cases people are concerned it might give off X-radiation and other things that might be dangerous.
The voltages involved.
test about that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't think anybody's
Yeah.
proved that they were harmed by it.
I don't think so either.
On the other hand, it's hard to prove.
You ready? I'm going to do mine. I'll show Camille the picture I got now. You're shooting yourself, shooting yourself.
In French, we call it a mise en abîme.
Okay, whatever it is, it's dangerous here.
Journalists are not too much in front of the camera in Switzerland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, here they cry on camera and everything.
Yeah, I know that.
To make one thing that's difficult to say is that television or video games or any of the other media have a singular effect at any given time on everyone, because the content obviously differs and the people differ. By the way, I presume it's all going to be in English when people watch over there, or you'll be translating?
Subtitle, I think.
Okay, so they'll hear me, but they'll see it in. They'll see. I'm just trying to figure out how fast I'm talking. And
It's okay.
Not to worry.
No
Okay.
problem. But you say that some people are dependent of TV.
Right.
How do you know that?
This is an important thing to say. Television is the easiest, quickest, cheapest way to distract yourself from how you already feel that's ever been invented. It's cheaper, potentially safer, I don't know, than tranquilizers. It's faster acting. Even if you take a tranquilizer, it might take 20 or 30 minutes to relax you. I did a study some years ago where I looked at the American Psychiatric Association's Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for how they diagnose dependence on drugs and alcohol. Everything they look at, which is diagnostic, that people feel bad that they use the drug so much, that they want to, all these things are true about television. The only thing that makes it different is that it's not the kind of substance we normally think about. Put it this way, it's important little soundbite. He's running out of tape.
You said before that something enters your body when you watch TV.
Oh.
What
Well,
is it?
light is coming off TV screens and coming into your body. Now, it isn't a substance that can be put in a bottle, but it has some substantive quality which alters how we experience. I mean,
It could be direct light versus reflected light.
well, whatever it is, it's coming into our body.
Five, 6, 7, 8. That side is filled. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is an experiment that was conducted 25 years ago by Marshall McLuhan and a team, and also Eric. And I would like to introduce Eric. Would you come here, Eric? Eric McLuhan, Marshall's son, is with us.
You already know a fair amount about what's going to happen. I'll just review it again. I'll put a film on the screen, I'll let it run. This is just an exercise in watching a movie in two different ways at once. This group will be seeing light transmitted through the screen. We call it the transmitted light side, and you're on the reflected light side. light reflected from a screen like ordinary movie. Would somebody operate the lights?
Yeah.
Thank you. Ready? Lights for a moment, please. Right, now, please don't talk to each other about it, but would everybody kindly take out a sheet of paper and write about half a page to a page of comments, just whatever seems to you remarkable or noteworthy or significant. One group of the students talked about the experience as if it happened over there on a screen. It was something outside of them, it happened over there, and they were objective, comparatively speaking. The other group talked about themselves. Most of their comments referred to themselves and how they felt and what they thought.
I mean, the main question is light is light. Why light true is not the same as light reflected? What's the problem?
The difference between reflected light, which happens over there, and transmitted light is that when light comes through, you become the screen. And you wrap yourself in those images. And so you don't have any detachment. You are the screen. It tattoos itself on you.
But reflected light is reflected on me, too.
No, no, reflected off a screen over there. Another way to get at the difference is this. With transmitted light, the image or the screen itself is the source of light. It shines at you. It's exactly the same as television. The computer screen is the same kind of thing. Back in the 60s, General Electric Corporation had asked a psychologist, Mr. Krugman, to prove that what Marshall McLuhan was saying about media was wrong. It was completely counterintuitive. Everybody knew that it was the content that had the effect and so on. So they hired him to prove that. And he came up with an experiment using a EEG, an electroencephalograph. And unfortunately, he could not prove McLuhan was wrong. Instead, he proved he was right, that the response of the brain was to the medium itself, very much more than it was to whatever the content was. The two sides of the cortex actually process information in enormously different ways. The left side of the brain is the side that deals with speech and with writing and with any kind of logical or rational reasoning. The right side of the brain is more concerned with the emotions, more concerned with imagery. And what TV does to the brain is it imposes on us an enormous right brain bias.
And what's the effect of a right brain bias on our individuality?
Oh, fine. It gets rid of individualism. Individualism or private identity or privacy are strictly left brain emotions. And only one culture has ever had any sort of interest in this, and that's Western culture, and we're losing that rather quickly. Nearly everything we do today emphasizes group culture and participation and group awareness, and you cannot do that and be an individual.
The problem is when you listen to that kind of thing, you said, okay, group experiment, right brain, abandon of objectivity and all that, could be very totalitarian, that kind of society. I mean, if everybody is immersed in the same dream, it's one definition of totalitarianism.